ॐ दक्षिणास्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशववामन कृष्णपाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शङ्कर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शान्ति मंत्र। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। In the last session we saw that the teacher or Acharya Angiras is answering the question of Shaunaka, the Shishya, and he told him the various types of vidyas, the two main branches of vidyas or knowledge, streams of knowledge, called as Aparavidya and Paravidya. Aparavidya is all the material and Laukika sciences put together. We call it as Aparavidya. And that knowledge, that branch of knowledge or that knowledge is a complete knowledge, a transformative knowledge, which is the very knowledge given in the Upanishads, is what is called as the Paravidya. We saw that also. And he said, it is through Paravidya that one understands the Aksharam. And Aksharam is the word used for Brahma here in Mundaka Upanishad. Akshayaya Aksharam Adhigamyate. Paravidya, Para Yaya Aksharam Adhigamyate. And then in the sixth verse, sixth mantra, we saw what is that Aksharam? The Swarupa Lakshanam of that Aksharam was talked about. And there was one word in the last line which said Bhuta Yoni. And I told you in the last session itself, Bhuta Yoni actually means that which is the cause, the Mula Karanam of whatever we see here. So the Mula Karanam of the entire Jagat is this Aksharam Brahma, Bhuta Yoni, and then it was described that which is not available to any organs of perception or organs of action, that which is all pervading, that which is not limited by time, that which is not limited by space, that which is the subtlest of the subtle, that which is found everywhere, which is all pervading, and that which manifests itself into this entire universe. Vibhum, that which manifests, Vividham Bhavati, that which becomes many, Vibhum. And then he said it is Bhuta Yoni. Bhuta Yoni. What is Bhuta Yoni? It is the very cause of the universe. If the universe or the Jagat is a Karyam, then this Aksharam or Brahman is the Karanam. And as I discussed in the last session, when there is a product, when there is a Karyam, there should be a Karanam. And for every karyam there are two types of karanam that are required. One is the material with which that product is made, called as the material cause or the upadana karanam. Like gold is the upadanam or upadana karanam for all the ornaments. That gold, which is the material to which certain names and forms are added, that is done by an intelligent principle called as the goldsmith. Similarly, furniture or whatever you take. So, there are two types of causes necessary for all the products that we see in this universe. One is the material, and the other is the maker. The material is Jada, and the maker is actually the one who is a Chetana Tattva, the intelligent cause, which is responsible for converting or for manifesting a Karyam out of Karanam. And Bhutayoni is the word given to this Aksharam Brahma, which means it is the very Mula Karanam of everything. So, what kind of a Karanam is Brahman or Aksharam? Our scriptures say, since Brahman is the only thing that is there, it is both the maker and the material. It is both the Upadana Karanam and the Nimitta Karanam. Therefore, Brahman is called as the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam, one and the only Brahman, which is both the material and the maker. How is it possible? We say that Brahman is Niravayavam. Brahman does not undergo any change. Brahman is Akarta, Abhokta. Then how can this whole universe manifest from that Brahman? Here, the role of the Shakti of Brahman or Maya comes in. From the point of view or with the reference to the Jagat, the same Brahman along with Maya we call as Ishvara. Brahman alone, that consciousness alone, cannot give rise to this material universe. Therefore, Brahman along with Maya is Jada principle, Prakriti or Avyaktam or Maya, and Brahman together, Brahman with its Shakti Maya, which is the Upadanam actually, that which manifests or changes itself to manifest as the Jagat is the Maya, and the intelligent cause behind this manifestation is this all knowledge Aksharam or Brahma. So, this Brahman Maya together, which is responsible for the manifestation of the so called Karyam or universe, is called as Ishvara. Brahman, from the point of view of Jagat Karanam, we give the name Ishvara, that is Maya Sahita Brahman. This we saw. Now, what is the meaning of creation? Is anything new created? We have already seen this in Vivek Chudamani. We have already seen this in Bhagavad Gita. When our scriptures talk about a creation, what is talked about is that there is nothing new that is created. There is an unmanifest Prakriti or Maya from which the manifest universe appears in Brahman, which is a projection in Brahman. Brahman, along with Maya, project the universe where? On the Adhishtanam Brahma. And this universe exists in this Adhishtanam Brahma. And after a period of time, maybe billions of years, that manifest universe is resolved back into an unmanifest form. So, what is a creation? Every cycle of creation is from unmanifest, avyakrita, avyaktamaya, a manifestation called the Vyakta or Vyakrita universe of names and forms, existing for some time, constantly changing in their appearance, and then one fine day going back into an unmanifest form. This cycle of potential to manifest form back to potentiality, this cycle is what is called as the creation. And When every cycle of creation takes place, there is the intelligent principle of Brahman, which is all knowledge, which is full of knowledge. It has to visualize what kind of a creation was the last cycle, and according to that particular thing, what kind of a creation should manifest in the coming cycle. This is the nimittam or the intelligence of Brahman or the knowledge of Brahman, which is supposed to manifest the coming universe based on the previous universe. Why? Because all the karmas of all the jivas which are in the unmanifest or potential form have to now get manifested. Different lokas have to be formed, different fields of experiences have to come, and different jivas have to be born with various other jivas to work out their karmas. So create such an intelligent universe which is put together to make all the jivas work out all their karmas has to be based on what was the design that was there in the previous universe. And this intelligent principle Brahman, which is all knowledge, Ishvara, which is all knowledge, has to project an intelligent universe which is put together based on all the previous cycles of creation. This is the creation. Nothing new is created. No iota of matter is created newly. It is merely a manifest to unmanifest form called as pralaya, and unmanifest to manifest called form called as srishti. Srishti, sthiti, laya is nothing but a cyclical manifestation of constantly unmanifest or potential maya to Vyakta Prapancha going back to Avyakta Maya or Prakriti. And there, in the seventh verse, we saw that the Upanishad talks about this Brahman as the Upadana Karanam, as the very material cause. What is the actual material cause in Brahman? It is the Maya, which is the matter principle, the potential matter principle, which is called as Maya, Avyakritam, Avyaktam, Prakriti, then the Mula, Prakriti, all these are the Mula matter, basic matter principle, potential matter principle. Maya is the actual Upadana, but it is so much connected closely with Brahman that Brahman with Maya, called as Ishvara, we take as Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam of the manifest universe. And in the seventh verse, three examples were given. What were the three examples? Yatha Urnanabhi Srijate Grinhate cha. Urnanabhi, a spider, does not look for a material from outside to create its web. The web is necessary for a spider to catch the insects, its food, and to eat, and also to be there securely. So, what is it that creates this web? It is the intelligent principal spider itself. Where does the material come from? It comes from within itself, a very sticky material which comes from within its stomach, and the spider weaves its web. And whenever there is a threat to its existence, it just takes it back into itself. Just like an Urnanabi Srijate, it literally, lays open a beautiful web, sometimes, seen over large areas, and at the same time, this spider is able to resolve it back into itself. Then another example was given for the Upadana Karanam. Just like earth, Yatha Prithivya Oshadhaya Sambhavanti. Just like from the earth, which is Jada, living plants are born. Living, jivas are born from this earth. And then one more thing, Yata Sataha Purushaha Kesha Lomani. Just like from a living human being, dead hair and nails are produced. So who am I? I'm the intelligent cause and also the material cause for my hair and for my nails that are growing. The earth is the, though it is Jada, it is the intelligent, and of course, Ishvara's laws are there. It is the cause for all these oshadhis or the plants appearing out of the earth when it starts raining. So, Upadana Karanam Brahman with Maya or Ishvara as the Upadana Karanam of Jagat was talked about with three examples given in the seventh verse, which we saw last time. Now, in this section, the first section of the first Mundaka, we have two more verses. The eighth verse here talks about what? Here, Brahman is talked about as the intelligent principle, the nimitta karanam. Intelligent principle means that intelligent principle which thinks, which is full of knowledge, which has seen what was the previous Srishti, and which is now able to see what kind of a new cycle of Srishti has to come. There's nothing called new, it's the same cycle which is going again and again, the next cycle of creation. On what basis it has to be created? And the basis for the new cycle is the previous cycles. And what is this Brahman? Ishvara, does it have a mind like us? No. This Ishvara, this Brahman is all knowledge. That's why we call Ishvara Bhagavan. Samagra Jnanam. One of the bhagas that Ishvara or Brahman has is Samagra Jnanam. Samagra Jnanam means all knowledge. Knowledge in general, knowledge in particular. Samanya Jnanam, Vishesha Jnanam. All types of knowledge that are necessary to start a new cycle of creation. So creation means nothing new is created. Brahman with Maya, from the unmanifest matter principle, a new cycle of matter principle is projected. That projection lasts for some time and then it is resolved back into avyakta form. And what kind of a creation should be there now? It is that which is seen, that which is nothing but the knowledge that is there in Brahman, which creates this cycle of creation. And after this Urnanabi and other example, now how this intelligent principle is responsible, intelligent principle or Brahman, along with Maya, is responsible for the creation of the universe, is talked about here. It has not been clearly mentioned. The fact that Brahman is the intelligent principle behind this entire manifest universe has not been very clearly mentioned here in in the Upanishad. But now, in this particular verse, in this particular mantra, that is quite clearly mentioned. Let us read the eighth mantra of the first section, first khanda of first Mudaka. What it says, tapasa chiyate brahma ततो अन्नम् अभिजायते अन्नात् प्राणो मनः सत्यं लोकाः कर्मसु If you really read this verse and try to analyze it, it will be absolutely impossible to understand what the Upanishad is saying. That is why we need commentaries like Bhagwan Shankaracharya's commentaries to know what exactly it means. If I tell you the word by word meaning of what this exactly says, I'll tell you what exactly this word means. What it means is, tapasa chiyate brahma. Chiyate means expands, expands. So he says tapasa. By tapas, Brahman expanded. Now, this itself looks very, very funny, isn't it? How can Brahman expand? Brahman is something which is infinite. There's no question of Brahman contracting or expanding. Tapasa. Should Brahman do tapas? Brahman is the only thing, all intelligence principle. Should it do tapas? Chiyate, expanding, we saw tapasa chiyate Brahma. What is this? Then it says tato annam adhijayate. From that Brahman, the annam abhijayate. Now, what is the meaning of annam? Annat prano manaha. From that annam, prana and manaha came satyam lokaha karmasu chamritam. Absolutely something which we cannot interpret we see, unless we are educated by the bhashya, unless we are educated by the guru who has to give us the meaning from the bhashya of Bhagwan Shankaracharya. Now let us see what this really means. Tapasa means with the knowledge that Brahman is. Brahman is all knowledge. And here, tapas means Brahman with all its knowledge inherent. All kinds of knowledge are there in Brahman and Maya together in Ishvara. Tapasa means Brahman, literally as though was prepared for the creation of the next cycle of universe with all full of knowledge. Now let me give an example. Two examples I'll give you which you will understand very well. Okay. Whatever was there is avyaktam, correct? Nothing was there. Avyaktam was there. That means everything was in a unmanifest form. And Brahman, at the right time of creation, when it was necessary for the next cycle of creation, it is as though Brahman got activated by the knowledge, whatever knowledge Brahman has. Now, what is the meaning of this? I'll give you two examples. We have a seed, correct? And the seed is potential form of a tree or a plant. The tree is potentially there in the seed. If I break the seed, I cannot say here is the root, here is the stem, here are the leaves, here are the, you cannot say. Correct? So the seed is there potentially to manifest later in the form of that particular tree or whatever it is. Now that particular seed manifests in that particular tree itself. How the intelligence is there in the seed. Brahman, everywhere Brahman is there. That knowledge, intelligence is there in that seed itself, because it is the mango seed manifests only as a mango tree, not as a coconut tree, and vice versa. So already the intelligence is there in that seed as to what it should manifest as. And does it simply manifest like that? No. When the right situations have come, when the right conditions are there, when the right, the right kind of environment, atmosphere is there, only then the seed is going to sprout into a sapling, and then that is going to grow into a seed. What is that right time? When you put the seed into the soil, when you water it, or even our own homes, we try to soak seeds in water for 2 days, 3 days, and we see that the seed has swollen. The next day, we find the sweet seed has swollen. On the second day, we find that a small, sprout has come out of that. Similarly, here the Upanishad is comparing this time of manifestation as like a seed swells up with water. When water is there in the seed, when the seed is in water, it swells up. It is the preparatory stage of the seed to manifest itself into a tree. So here, tapasa chiyate Brahma means Ishvara is ready to manifest into the next cycle of creation. The readiness to manifest, the readiness to convert the potential into the manifest universe. This is expressed as tapasa chiyate Brahma. The very knowledge or intelligence or the knowing or the knowledge principle Brahman along with Maya is as though prepared and getting ready to manifest the next cycle of creation. Another example I will give you. Now, from morning I know that I have to speak to you today in the evening. From morning, I'm aware of it that I have to speak. But just 15 minutes before or half an hour before, when I get everything ready, when I get the system, my laptop ready, and everything ready, what is happening? Now I'm getting ready. The readiness to start this particular session. What has happened? It is as though tapasa chiyate. With this knowledge which was there in the potential form in my head as to what has to be talked about today, now it is ready to manifest. It is as though I am expanded with that knowledge which is ready to come out. It is as though like a seed which is in water, which is ready to manifest into a sapling and swells up. So what this means is the preparedness of Ishvara to start the next cycle of creation or manifestation. Now, what is the stimulus for this particular preparation? What is it that stimulates this particular situation of getting prepared? It is said the karmas of all the jivas which are unmanifest, they are waiting. A time has come where we talk about a critical mass in science. So, the karmas of all the individuals, the critical mass of the karmas of the intelligence of all the jivas is now ready to manifest. The jivas are now ready to manifest themselves in various upadhis to fulfill their karmas. So, all the karmas of all the unmanifest jivas in this Prakriti or Maya have reached a stage where they are ready to manifest. And this is the stimulus for Ishvara to manifest the entire next cycle of universe. So tapasa chiyate Brahma means Brahman with potential matter Maya are ready with this knowledge. What knowledge? What kind of a cycle of creation should be created? What kind of jivas have to be there? How they have to go through their own karmas? Who are the other people who have to be there? All this is the intelligent calculation or the intelligent manifestation of Ishvara. That is why Ishvara is called Samagra Jnanam. Brahman or Ishvara is Samagra Jnanam, all knowledge. Nothing can go wrong. Whatever is happening here today in this universe, nothing is happening by chance. Everything is something which is the manifestation of an intelligent principle, intelligent laws of the universe. And what we are all going through every minute of our lives is not something random. It's all what we have to go through. We have to fulfill our karmas, the law of karma, various laws of Ishvara are working. There's nothing like a random manifestation of anything. It's a very, very well planned, knowledgeable, all knowledge universe. So tapasa chiyate Brahma. Tataha, from there, what happens from this prepared Maya Brahman combination called Ishvara, ready to start the next cycle, Annam Abhijayate. The Karana Prapancha is ready. Karana Prapancha. Maya, Avyakta, now is ready. The Karana Prapancha with all the three gunas, the Sattva, Rajaha, Tamo gunas are now manifesting in this Maya. And then that Maya is now potentially ready to manifest from the original or primal matter to projected matter principle. Tato annam abhijayate. From this Brahman Maya Ishvara, what happens? Karana Prapancha is born. Karana Prapancha is actually just like the seed. the seed which is almost about to sprout, the karanam. Everything is ready. All the knowledge in the seed is ready and waiting for that small sprout to come out. So Karana Prapancham is born. Annam Abhijayate means the Karanam. Annam here means the Karana Prapancha is born. Annat Prano Manaha. Just like from that swollen seed, ready to sprout, a small sprout comes out. What do we call it? The Sukshma tree. It's not the Sthula tree. It is the Sukshma tree, the sapling which is coming out is the very Sukshma tree. So, from this Karana Prapancha, the Sukshma Prapancha emerges. Maya with Brahman from this Karana Prapancha, Annam, then Annat Prano Manaha. Prana and Manaha represent the Sukshma Prapancha. Just like Prana and Manaha represents the Sukshma Sharira in us. Similarly, Annat from the Karana Prapancha, the Sukshma Prapancha is born, or the Sukshma Prapancha appears. It is of the stage of the small sprout which is appearing in the seed. And if we leave it for some time and don't do anything about it, what happens? This sapling grows. It grows into a bigger plant. And depending upon what it is supposed to become, it manifests in the height, in the weight, in the type of type of leaves, the color of leaves, the branches. Everything is there intelligently packed in that seed. And then when it manifests into the sthula tree, it manifests with all its characteristics that were there in a very, very dormant form in the seed. Similarly, he says here, then Annat Prano Manaha. Then what happens? Satyam Lokaha Karmasu Chamritam. Satyam Lokaha means then the Sthula Prapancha is formed. So Tapasa Chiyate Brahma. Brahma with all the knowledge, intelligence, Maya, the primal matter, the original avyakta matter principle, Prakriti, get ready for the next creation when all the karmas of the previous Srishti Jivas have reached a certain level which are ready to manifest, and they as though expand, as though it's no kind of as though expand, which means annam abhijayate. That means what? A karana prapancha is ready, where to some extent a totally unmanifest matter is slowly getting into manifestation, slowly getting into a form. From there, the Sukshma Prapancha is formed, which is called as Hiranyagarbha. You remember that, isn't it? Maya or Ishvara is what? Karana Prapancha. Then we have what? Hiranyagarbha, which is the Sukshma Prapancha. Then we have Virat, the Sthula Prapancha. So then, Satyam Lokaha Karmasucha Amritam. That means what? From the Sukshma Prapancha, Virat is formed, which is nothing but all the 14 lokas and all the body, mind, sense, the mind, sense complexes, the jivas acquire bodies and they fill the entire lokas, and all karma begins. When the jivas come, naturally the karma begins. So, karma sucha amritam. Karmas will start, karma phalas will start getting accumulated again. So once the jivas are born in the world, they are not going to keep quiet. We are not going to keep quiet. We are going to start acting. It is our actions or karmas which brought us back into this world, our karma phalas. But now we are not going to simply go through the karma phalas. We are going to do more and more actions, accrue more and more karma phalas, and come back again and again and again into this cycle. So this goes on ceaselessly. So he says, Satyam lokaha karmasu cha amritam. Karmasu cha amritam. Amritam means what? Karma phalas are called here amritam. Actually, amritam means what? Amritam means that which is imperishable, that is immortal. But karma phalas, he says here amritam because as long as the karma phalas are worked out, the karma phalas are not going to disappear. They are going to remain suspended. Let it be millions of years. Every karma phala remains suspended till it is worked out. So karma phalas can last for millions of creations. Therefore, the Upanishad Guru calls here karma sucha amritam. Karmas are born, karma phalas are born. And this is a constant impetus for the world, for the Jagat to keep coming, going back, coming, going back, coming, going back. Therefore, here, Brahman as the intelligent principle or as the intelligent cause for the manifestation of this universe. So, there is only that one word, Bhuta Yoni, which was mentioned in the sixth verse, which is the sixth mantra, Yattadadresham Agrahyam Agotram Avarnam Tadapanipadam Achakshuhu Ashrotram, that we saw. In that, the last line says Bhuta Yoni. Aksharam is Bhuta Yoni. So, what is the meaning of Bhuta Yoni? It is Jagat Karana. So when it gave the Swarupa Lakshanam of Brahman in the form of Susukshmam, Sarvagatam, Nityam, Apanipadam, all that were the Swarupa Lakshanas of Brahman. Bhuta Yoni means the Tathastha Lakshanam with reference to this universe. And how Brahman becomes the Karanam for this universe. What is the role of Maya here? What is the meaning of Ishvara? All these come in these two verses as Brahman is described as Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. And one more word I used last time, which is called as Vivarta Upadana Karanam. That means all the changes that happen during the manifestation of the universe happen in Maya, in the matter principle, not in Brahman, the intelligent principle. Therefore, Brahman is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Vivarta Karanam without undergoing any change itself. It is near the knowledge principle without undergoing any change with the help of Maya. The whole universe is so called created. Here, creation means manifestation from an unmanifest form. When the karmas of the jivas, which are in the potential form in the Prakriti, are ready to manifest. And from there, the Karana Shariram, then the Panchabhutas, then the Sukshma Panchabhutas, Sthula Panchabhutas, then the whole universe is formed. Karmas begin, karma phalas begin, and all these things start going on as usual as it happened in the other creations. Now, the last verse of this first khanda is now talking about what kind of a knowledge or tapas is this, which was mentioned in the previous verse. Because there is always a possibility of mistaking, isn't it? Now, the teacher wants to really sum up the akshara, what are the features or what are the descriptions of akshara. That is the Swarupa Lakshanam, the Swarupa Lakshanani, and also the Tathastha Lakshanam of Brahman. Here, in the last verse of this section, the teacher, the Acharya wants to sum up. And there is a possibility of confusion as far as the word tapas is concerned in the previous verse. Therefore, he wants to say, what is this tapas? What is the meaning of this tapas? And what kind of knowledge is this Brahman? That is what is going to be talked about in this verse. He says here, let us go to the ninth mantra. Yah sarvajnah sarvaved यस्य ज्ञानमयं तपः तस्माद्येतद् ब्रह्म नामरूपम् अन्नं च जायते. So what is this Brahman? It is Sarvajnaha, all knowledge. Yaha means this Brahman, Sarvajnaha, Yaha, that or this Brahman, Sarvajnaha, all knowledge, all knower. In general, in general, that means what? Sarvajnaha. This knowledge, which is this Brahman, is all knowledge in general. Then he says Sarvavit, all knowledge in particular. Correct? When Brahman is creating a human being, how a human being has to be created, how a human body has to be created, where should which organ go, isn't it? This world is not something random, it is intelligently put together. Every part of this world, the world is full of parts. The total Brahman is nothing but full of knowledge, nothing but knowledge. Therefore, what is the tapas of this Brahman that was talked about? Yasya jnanamayam tapaha. This very knowledge of Brahman itself is called as tapas or tapa. So what is this knowledge? Sarvajnaha sarvaved. What is the meaning of Sarvajnaha? The one who's the all-knower. In general, Sarvavit in particular. Correct? Now, this particular human body, if you take, all millions of individuals that we are there, the same organs are there in the same place, they work in the same manner, okay? They have the same kind of composition, the same clinical, I mean, the chemical compositions, everything is the same. Everything is intelligently put together. Another species you take, any other living species, there it has got its own system of running its own body, mind, sense complex, or body, whatever it is. So, what is this? What kind of an intelligence is this? Can I make my heart work or stop my heart at will? No. Can I stop my breathing at will? No. Whatever is functioning in my body is functioning by itself. It is something, it is an intelligent system which is intelligently put together by an intelligent principle whose laws are running this particular thing here. Correct? I can't do anything about it. If I'm sick, I can go to a doctor and ask for treatment, but I cannot will it to be all right. Correct? If I'm all right, I can't will myself to be sick. Whatever is happening, the functioning or the non-functioning or the malfunctioning of every jiva, its body, mind, not only that, any other law you take. You take a physical law, you take a cosmic law, you take a biological law, you take a chemical law, a physical law, any law you take, it is all intelligently put together. All the laws, the cosmic laws are working together. One law is not against the other. All the parts of our body are working together towards a common goal. It's not as if the heart is working against the respiratory system and digestive system is working against some other system. It is not like that. Therefore, what is it? What we find in this universe is nothing but intelligence, nothing but knowledge. You see a flower, it is nothing but knowledge, intelligently put together. You see a leaf, it is nothing but knowledge, intelligently put together. Therefore, what is it that is putting everything in this Jagat, which is a projected universe of names and form, but something which is not chaotic, something which is intelligently put together, something which is working in unison? What kind of a knowledge is this? This is the knowledge called Brahman or Ishvara. So Ishvara is here called Sarvajnaha Sarvavit. Sarvavit means particular, small, small, small things. Every little thing that is going on is the knowledge of Ishvara, Sarvavit. Generally, whatever has to go on, superficially on a general basis, that is Ishvara's knowledge. That is knowledge. Ishvara is nothing but knowledge. Brahman is nothing but knowledge. Knowledge and matter principle together intelligently is converted into this jagat. If I am suffering today because of something, it's not random. It is something which is following a certain law. Therefore, what he says, Yaha, this Aksharam, this Brahman is Sarvajnaha, all knowing. Sarvavit, the knower of everything, in particular the smallest detail. Jnanamayam tapaha yasya. So this tapas of Brahman is not like our tapas. Tapas can be what? Tapas can mean many things. Tapas can mean physical discipline. Tapas can mean heat or affliction. Tapas can mean also knowledge. Tapas can mean many things. Tapaha, heat, afflictions, pain, physical discipline, and also tapaha here means knowledge itself is called as tapas. So that we should not mistake this tapas for anything else. Therefore, the Upanishad Guru is saying here, Yaha, Aksharam is neuter gender, Aksharam, Akshara, Aksharam, Yat tad adresham agrahyam, Yat tad, when in the sixth mantra, Aksharam was talked about, the Upanishad said that which is adresham agrahyam. But now in this verse, that neutral gender Aksharam is explained here as a masculine gender Brahma, as an intelligent principle. So suddenly from Yat Tad Adresham Agrahyam suddenly becomes Yaha Sarvajna Sarvavid. Yaha. Yaha means what? This 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 living, this person, or this which we refer to be the gender. Of course, Brahman does not have a gender. You can call it Aksharam, you can call it Vidya, it becomes different genders can be used here. The intelligent principle called as Brahman is now represented by the name Brahma, and therefore Brahma is getting Yaha. This Brahma, Yaha Brahma, what is that Brahma? Sarvajnaha, all knowing, Sarvaved, every smallest detail is nothing but Ishvara. You find a small pink line on a white petal of a rose, small one, which might be even we might even miss that particular thing. One small dent in the petal of a rose, we may not see that, but that is the detail of Ishvara. That is the detail. In detail, everything is known. This Brahma, this Ishvara is Sarvajnaha, Sarvavit. Yasya Jnanamayam Tapaha. That tapaha or that tapas which was talked about in the previous verse, tapasa chiyate Brahma. Here it means all the knowledge that is Ishvara. We don't say knowledge is in Ishvara or on Ishvara. All knowledge is Ishvara. Ishvara or Brahman is all knowledge. Maya is all matter in potential form. So tapasa chiyate Brahma means jnanamayam tapaha. Okay. So this knowledge alone of Brahman was what was called as tapas in the previous verse. It should not be mistaken that Brahman, like any other rishi, is standing on one foot and doing tapas and going without food, upavasa, and doing tapas. No, no, no. Tapaha here means knowledge, not a physical discipline or any kind of a pain or affliction or tapa. So tapa here, jnanamayam tapaha yasya. For this Brahman, the very knowledge itself, all the knowledge of the universe in general and in particular is Ishvara. Ishvara is all knowledge. We don't even say all knowledge of the universe is in Ishvara. All knowledge is Ishvara. Anything that manifests, anything that is seen, anything that is functioning, anything that is not functioning, anything that is functioning properly, anything that is not functioning properly, everything is nothing but knowledge. This knowledge is called as tapaha, jnanamayam tapaha, jnanamayam, of the nature of knowledge. So when you say that tapasa chiyate brahma, that means the very jnanamayam brahma with Maya got ready to create what kind of a creation? Manifest a creation from the unmanifest potential state. That is it. So he says Jnanamayam tapaha. Tasmad yetad brahma. Tasmad, from this jnanam, from this very knowledge, nama, rupam, annam cha jayate. From this knowledge called Brahman, from this very knowledge called Ishvara, Nama, Rupam, Annam cha jayate. All the names, all the forms, and also the resources necessary for existence of this particular creation were born. From nowhere else the resources come. Brahman is the Karanam also, the provider also, the planner also, the one who is the resource also. That is why what do we call Bhagwan? Bhagavan means what? The one who has six bhagas. Brahman or Ishvara is called as Bhagana, Bhagavan. Why? Samagra Jnanam, Samagra Yashas, Samagra Viryam, Samagra Vairagyam, Samagra Shri. Shri means what resource? He's Shri Nidhi. He's the very Nidhi or the repository of all resources. None of these resources belong to me or you. If I have something here with me, it's not mine. It belongs to Ishvara. I'm just a safekeeper. I'm just, for some time, Ishvara has parked his resources, his or her or its or whatever it is, the resources with me. That's it. I don't own it. I don't have anything. I don't own anything. Whatever is there is Ishvara. So he says that Namam Rupam Annancha Jayate. Namam Rupam. All the physical bodies are formed. All names and forms are formed. There are sentient beings, there are non-sentient beings. Because only sentient beings, there is no Vyavahara possible. Only non-sentient Jada beings, no Vyavahara is possible. So the world is a mixture of Jada and Chetana. Jada Vastus are there, Chetana Jivas are there. Millions of types of Jivas are there. On the land, in the sky, in various lokas, under the seas, in waters, various millions of types of Jivas are there. At the same time, there are millions of non-living objects also, and there are resources which are necessary for this cycle to continue, for the jivas to continue. Annam, that which is consumed. We can call annam as food, of course, that consuming which the jiva grows. But actually here you can take it in a much broader sense. Annam means all the resources. So Nama Rupa were born, the bodies were born, various jivas were born, the functions were born, and the situations were given for the jivas to conduct themselves. All the resources that are necessary were given for this cycle of creation, of which we don't know how many millions of years of the cycle of creation to continue. Resources were born. So that which is consumed, the resources were also born. Namam, Rupam, Annam cha Jayate. So all those things were there. So this is how Brahman as the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam Vivarta Karanam. manifested itself with the help of Maya into this entire universe of names and forms and resources. But by nature, what is it? Swarupa Lakshanataya, what is this Brahman? Yat tad adreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam apanipadam, that which is nothing but imperishable, unlimited by time and space, that which is infinite, that is the very nature of this Brahman, which never changes, which remains the same. What undergoes change in the form of creation is the matter principle, which we can say for the convenience as the very Shakti or the very strength or the Shakti of Brahman. But Brahman is not affected by Maya in any way. Brahman is Asangaha. Maya, borrowing existence and consciousness from this Brahman or from this knowledge principle, creates or it projects a world, and all that intelligence is where? In Brahman, Jnanamayam Tata. So what did we see in this first section of the first Mundaka of Mundakopanishad? The student asking for what is that which is the Mula Karanam of this Jagat, knowing which it is as though you are knowing everything. And the teacher talks about this Brahman or Aksharam as the Mula Karanam of this entire universe, and gives the Swarupa Lakshanams of Lakshanani of Brahman and Tatastha Lakshana of Brahman in the form of Jagat Karanam Brahma. Before that, the teacher takes a little deviation in telling the Shishya as to what are the two types of Vidyas. With this, we have completed the first section. Iti Pratama Mundake Pratama Khandaha. So we have completed this. So from the next time, we will go to the second section or second khanda of the first Mundaka. I told you there are three Mundakas, means three main chapters, and each chapter has two khandas or sections. The next khanda will take it probably a little faster, because the next khanda talks more about Veda Purva. It talks more about the ritualistic aspects of Veda Purva. So it may not be of much relevance to us. So we can probably go a little faster. But this one being the first one, being, the Swarupa and Tatastha Lakshanam of Brahman, I wanted to do it very, very slowly, that a strong base is understood of Mundaka Upanishad. नन्दन्तु साधका सर्वे विनश्यन्तु विदूषकाः अवस्थाशाम्भवी मेस्तु प्रसन्नोऽस्तु गुरुः सदा सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तत्सत्